Hey, before we start today, I need to tell you something. Your comments, these past few days, they've been amazing. You're suggesting topics, you're sharing your struggles, you're asking real questions, and I'm reading them, every single one. Some of you said, "Can you teach phone conversations?" Others asked, "How do I stop translating?" And it hit me. You're not just watching, you're participating. That's exactly what I wanted. So thank you. Keep those comments coming. Because today's video, it answers the biggest question you've been asking. Why do some people learn languages in months while I've been studying for years? Now, let's talk about something crazy. 18th century Italy. A priest named Giuseppe Mezzofanti. He spoke 38 languages. Not, I know a few words speaking. Fluent speaking, French, German, Spanish, Russian, Arabic, Chinese, Hungarian, Polish. And get this, he never left Italy, never went to France to learn French, never went to China to learn Chinese. He stayed in one city his entire life, Bologna. So how does one man learn 38 languages without traveling, without the internet, without Duolingo? The answer? He discovered the language skeleton. And today, I'm going to show you his method, updated for English learners. By the end of this video, you'll know how to decode English grammar using just 12 sentences, not 1,000 words, not 50 rules, 12 sentences. And this will change everything. Let's go. Okay, here's what Mezzofanti did. When he met a foreign speaker, he'd ask one question. Say the Lord's Prayer in your language. Why? Because he knew the Lord's prayers in Italian. So when he heard it in German or Russian, he could see the patterns. That's where the verb goes. That's how they say possession. That's the word order for questions. He wasn't memorizing, he was reverse engineering, finding the skeleton under the words. Now, 200 years later, an American writer, Tim Ferriss, took this idea and said, we don't need religious prayers. We need 12 golden sentences. Sentences that unlock the grammar of any language. And here is where it gets good. Because I'm going to show you these 12 sentences, but not like a boring textbook. I'm going to show you what each sentence reveals. And by the end, you'll see English like you've never seen it before. Ready? Sentence 1. The apple is red. Looks simple, right? But here's what it teaches. Subject, verb, adjective. This is the basic English pattern. Thing, action, description. Now, before I show you sentence 2, let me ask you something. In your language, do you say, the apple is red? Or do you say, red is the apple? Or maybe, the red apple is? That difference. That's the skeleton. Sentence 2. It is John's apple. Possession. How does English show ownership? Add apostrophe plus S John's apple, Mary's book. But I'm betting your language does this completely differently. Maybe you say, the apple of John. And that's the point. Sentence 3. I give John the apple. Hold on, 2 objects now. John and the apple. Which comes first? In English, the person comes first. I give John the apple. Not, I give the apple John. Now watch this. In Portuguese, they say, eu dou a maçã ao João. That means, I give the apple to John. Thing first. English, person first, boom. You just learned a pattern that most textbooks take 3 chapters to explain. Let me speed up now. Sentences 4, 5, and 6. All about pronouns. We give him the apple. He gives it to John. She gives it to him. Notice. He, when it's the subject. Him, when it's the object. Same person, different form. English changes pronouns based on position in the sentence. You just learned pronoun cases in 30 seconds. Sentence 7. Is the apple red? Question time. Watch what moved. Statement. The apple is red. Question. Is the apple red? The verb jumped to the front. That's the English question pattern. Move, the verb. Sentences 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let me rapid fire these. The apples are red. Plurals. I must give it to him. Modal verbs. I want to give it to her. Infinitives. I'm going to know tomorrow. Future tense. I can't eat the apple. Negatives. Done. 12 sentences. And in those 12 sentences, you just saw the entire skeleton of English grammar. Stop. Let me ask you something. Did you feel that? We just went through 12 sentences. And in those 12 sentences, you saw how English builds basic sentences, how it shows possession, how it handles 2 objects, how pronouns change form, how questions flip word order, how plurals work, how future is formed, how negatives are made, That's the skeleton, the framework that all English grammar is built on. And here's what's crazy. Most textbooks take 6 months to teach this, but you just saw it in 5 minutes. Why? Because you're not memorizing rules. You're seeing patterns. And your brain, it loves patterns. Now, here's how you use this right now, today. Step 1. Grab a piece of paper, write all 12 sentences in English on one page, like this. The apple is red. It is John's apple. I give John the apple. All 12, one page. Step 2, translate them into your language. How would you say, the apple is red in Portuguese? How about in Turkish? In Vietnamese? Write it next to the English. Step 3. Now, compare. Look at sentence 3. I give John the apple. In your language, is it the same word order? Or do you say, I give the apple to John? Or maybe, I give to John the apple? That difference, that's the key. Because that shows you how English thinks. Step 4, find the pattern. Ask yourself, how does English make questions? How does English show future? How does English use pronouns? Write it down in your own words. Step 5, test it. Make new sentences using the same patterns. I give Mary the book. We give her the pen. She gives it to Tom. If you can do that, you've cracked the code. You understand the skeleton. Let me tell you why this works. Most people learn English backwards. They start with words, apple, book, car, house, 1,000 words. But they don't know how to put them together. It's like having 1,000 Lego pieces, but no instruction manual. You have all the pieces, but you can't build anything. Now imagine this. What if I gave you the instruction manual first? Suddenly, those 1,000 Lego pieces, they make sense. You know, where each piece goes. That's what the 12 sentences do. They give you the instruction manual, the skeleton, the framework. And now, all those words you already know, they fit together. You can build sentences, real ones, natural ones. That's the difference. Let me give you a real example. Think about sentence 3. I give John the apple. Now, in Portuguese, they say, eu dou a maçã ao João. Word by word, I give the apple to John. See that? Portuguese puts the apple before John. English puts John before the apple. That's the difference. That's the skeleton showing itself. Now you know, in English, person comes first. In Portuguese, thing comes first. And suddenly, when you speak English, you don't translate word by word anymore. You think in the English pattern. Person first, then thing. That's what 30 minutes with these 12 sentences does for you. Now, here's what I want you to do. Right now, after this video, open a notebook. Write down the 12 sentences in English. Then, translate them into your language. Then, compare them. Ask yourself, what's different? What patterns do I see? How does my language do this same thing? Spend 30 minutes, just 30 minutes. And I promise you, you will understand English grammar better than most people who studied for years. Because you're not memorizing rules. You're seeing the skeleton. Here's what most people don't understand. Polyglots like Mezzofanti weren't born with magic brains. They didn't have superpowers. They just knew one secret. All languages are 80% the same. They all have subjects, verbs, objects, questions, plurals, past tense, future tense. The words are different. Apple in English, manzana in Spanish, pomme in French. But the skeleton, the structure, almost the same. Once you see the skeleton in one language, you can learn any language and faster. That's why Mezzofanti learned 38 languages, not because he studied 38 times longer, but because after the first 5 languages, he could decode a new one in weeks. He knew what to look for. The skeleton. Now, let me ask you something. How long have you been learning English? 1 year, 3 years, 5 years? Then can you speak without thinking? Or do you still translate in your head? Wonder, is this correct? Make the same mistakes? If the answer is, yes, I still struggle, listen to me, it's not your fault. Nobody showed you the skeleton. You learned vocabulary, you studied grammar rules, but nobody said, here, look at these 12 sentences. This is how English works. This is the pattern. But now you know, and that changes everything. So here's what I want you to do. Today, not tomorrow, not next week, today. Get a notebook, write down the 12 sentences in English, then in your language. Then compare them. Ask yourself, what's different? What patterns do I see? How does my language do this? Spend 30 minutes, just 30 minutes. And I promise you, you will understand English grammar better than you have in years because you're not memorizing, you're seeing. And here's what happens next. When you listen to English, your brain will start recognizing patterns. Oh, that's a modal verb. That's how they show future. That's the pronoun changing form. You won't need to think about it. You'll just know because you've seen the skeleton. Before we finish, I want to do something with you right now. In the comments below, write one of the 12 sentences in English, then in your language. Like this. English, I give John the apple. Portuguese, eu dou a maçã ao João. Or, English, the apple is red. Turkish, elma kırmızıdır. Any sentence, any language, I'll read them and I'll tell you what pattern I see. What your language does differently. This is how we learn together. Not just watching videos, doing, practicing, comparing. So go ahead, pick one sentence, write it in English and your language. Post it in the comments. Let's decode your language together. One more thing. If this video showed you something new, if you finally understand why polyglots learn fast, hit the like button. Not for me, for other learners. Because when you like this video, YouTube shows it to more people. People who need this exact method. People struggling, just like you were, and together, we can help thousands of learners. See the skeleton. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for trusting me with your English journey. I'll see you in the next video. And remember, you don't need 10,000 hours. You don't need 1,000 words. You just need 12 sentences. See you soon.